Hey guys, it's Rocky here. You met my friends Charlie and Oscar, right? Well, if not, then I recommend checking out Charlie's story because, boy, has he been through it. We all have, really. That's just the case when you're a dog living out on the streets. Anyway, the three of us are besties – me, Charlie, and Oscar. Actually, Charlie no longer lives with us since he got lucky and found his new human. But like I said, we're pals. So Oscar and I can only feel happy for our friend. And we hope his new human treats him better than that Jenny person he told us about. Speaking of the Jennies of the world, I happen to know a few of them all too well. When I first met Charlie in that alley, I told him about my first owners. They were a young couple, and they bought me from a pet store when I was just a pup. Everything was good the first year or so. Lots of playtime, treats, and toys galore. But then, things got bad real quick. My Sarah and Dan stopped giving me so much attention. They were always on their phones, and they seemed upset and stressed out most of the time. I don't remember much since I was still pretty young, but I'll never forget the day they got into that big truck with all those boxes and drove away. I don't know how long I sat on that porch and waited for them to come back. A little old lady happened to walk by our house. She noticed me and said, "Hey little fella, what are you doing sitting there all alone? Did your owners lock you out?" But after peeking into the windows, she looked down at me and said, "Oh, you poor thing, they left you, didn't they?" I looked up at her, confused. That's when she put her hand under my chin and said, "That's okay, you can come and live with old Eileen. How does that sound? Come on now, I'll fix you up something good to eat." I was hesitant to leave at first. I didn't want Sarah and Dan to worry about me once they got back. But I was hungry too, so I went with the nice lady. And boy, am I glad I did. I made myself at home with her, and we did everything together. Every morning I'd wake her up, and we'd have breakfast in her cozy little kitchen while she listened to the humans on the TV talk about the sun, wind, and rain. Then she'd put my leash on me, and we'd go for a walk around the block. We'd go past my old house each time, and I never did see Sarah and Dan. Another family moved in not long after mine had left. I'd understood by then that they were never coming back, but I was perfectly fine with old Eileen. On really nice days, she'd take me to the dog park and let me run around without my leash. Man, I could spend hours there playing with the other dogs from the block, sniffing trees and flirting a bit with Daisy. Ooh, she smells so nice. In the evenings, we'd sit on the couch and watch TV together. Nothing beats being cuddled up with your favorite human while they rub your back and belly. Ooh. Then, one day, I woke up and started nuzzling old Eileen like I did every morning. "Come on, it's time for breakfast. Time for the people on the TV to talk about the rain and clouds." Only this time, she didn't wake up. I waited, and then started barking so that she'd open her eyes, and we'd go to the kitchen like we'd done so many times. Our neighbor Chris must have heard me, because he walked in not long after that. Eileen had given him a spare key just in case of emergencies. Well, today was that emergency. The people in the big white truck took my sweet Eileen away. I knew what had happened. I could just sense it. Chris came to feed me and take me for a walk the next day. Then Eileen's daughter Karen and her husband Sam came over a few days later. They never liked me very much. They'd always call me hurtful names like Fleabag and Mutt, so I liked to keep my distance from them. They kept coming over, and sometimes they'd be with strangers. They'd all walk around each room in the house. Then one day, when the two came over, Karen was actually nice to me. She said, "Come on, boy, want to go to the dog park?" I was still missing Eileen, but I also wanted to get out of the house and maybe see my friends at the park. Once we got there, Karen let me off my leash and I went to go sniff around. But after a while, my heart just wasn't in it, so I went to find her. Only, she was gone. I'd always known Karen wasn't fond of me, but did she really abandon me? Well, fine. With no Eileen to go back to, I headed out on my own. It wasn't long after that when I met Oscar. We hit it off immediately. We'd go looking for food behind restaurants and in different alleys, and it was in one of our regular spots that we ran into Charlie. He'd just been thrown out, so Oscar and I showed him the ropes. We became a team, the three of us. Well, just like Charlie told you, we'd scavenge for food, hide away from mean people, and keep each other warm during the cold nights. Then, when Charlie found Allison, it was just like me and Oscar again. And we love young couples sitting in parks. You just tilt your head, they aw at you, buy you a snack or share theirs. Some people are pretty mean though, or maybe they're just scared of stray dogs because they think we're dangerous or sick. They yell something and don't let their human babies touch us. And that's fine, I understand. Not all humans can be Eileens and Allisons, I guess. Most of them you have to run or hide from. And that's exactly what me and Oscar did when we heard some humans coming into our alley about 2 weeks ago. We couldn't run, so we tried to hide under a cardboard box. I was so scared when they found us, and I was downright terrified when they loaded us up into their van. This is it, man. We're done for. But it turned out they were really good people. They find guys like us in the streets who've been abandoned by their families. They took us to a shelter where they gave us food and taught us really cool tricks. I soon learned that we were training to become therapy dogs. You see, there are humans who have special needs, whether they're recovering from some tragedy or trauma, or they just get sad, lonely, or have nervous feelings. They need a good dog to help them cope. Not everyone can be trained to serve humans like that. You gotta have the right personality. But I think the shelter people noticed Oscar and I had families before and are friendly and calm, so they picked us. Training isn't easy, and you have to learn a lot before you can become a therapy dog. I think our first task will be to help older people, because we had this one visitor a couple of days ago. It was a sweet grandma, just like old Eileen, and she spent some time with us. She even brought us treats. I know I probably won't see her again, but I'm happy that I'll be able to help people like her. Sure, humans can be cruel, I know that all too well, but they can also be sweet and kind. No matter what happened to me, I still believe that. Would you adopt a stray dog? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go anywhere just yet. All you have to do is pick the left or right video, click on it, and enjoy. Stay on the bright side of life.